Hi my tarot lovelies, it's Ethony. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have got a huge number of goodies from US Game Sisters. You can see these are still in the plastic, guys. I haven't even opened these. There's a large number. This is going to be a large video. She likes large decks and she cannot lie. So go get a cup of tea, coffee, whatever you are drinking, my darlings, and especially water. Keep hydrated, and let's jump in and discover these decks together. I love the tin decks. I'm super happy that I've got this in a tin. I have done a full walkthrough of this before. I use this deck all the time, and it's in a tin, so you've got the abridged booklet. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. I just wanted to show you. Same card backs. I don't like that you can see my thumbprint on there though. And it's exactly the same but smaller. Same, almost, I think it feels like the same cardstock too, which I was not a massive fan of. But I love this deck. I love reading with it. I love how they've done the astrological information in it. Yeah, I'm super stoked to have this in my, like, so beautiful, in my collection as a full deck and as a tinned version, because then I can throw it in my bag and not worry about the cards getting ruined. Love. And I know that they only do these versions where they're in the tins when the decks are really popular. So I'm really glad that this is as popular as it is. So yay! Really stoked. Perfect on the go, perfect for fairs. We don't want to be lugging lots of stuff around. The little Zodiac tarot in a tin. So cool. Now we have the Star Maiden tarot, and this is by Hannah Kirchen. And I have been looking forward to this deck a lot, and I'm super thrilled that I have received it. This is a lovely chunky deck. This reminds me a little bit of the Divine Tarot by Yoshi, or Yoshi, and yeah, I think it reminds me of that from like the color palette. I don't want to look at too much because I haven't seen it. So we've got some spreads. This is about Hannah. Very cool. I'm really looking forward to this. What I was finding was that this is actually edged in this beautiful blue. And I was wondering, like, how do they decide over there what's going to be edged and what's not? I do love the linen feel of the cardstock too. Maybe I like that. So it's kind of got that linen feel. I love how graphic this is. This reminds me of a lot of really cool illustrated novels and children's books, but in a really sophisticated way. Love the border images. This is so cute. I think it's going to read really well. Very cool. Are all of them eyes closed? So far, yes. Well, Death has got his eyes open. Temperance, maybe it is. I've got a couple of decks like that where the eyes are closed. That's the Dreamers Tarot. Really like the cardstock, and I think this is going to read really well, and I think a younger crowd, I say that, you know, as a 40-year-old, I'm like, oh, those youngins will really like this. It's visually very fetching. It's I haven't used that word in a long time. It's very the limited palette really gives it a vibe, and it draws you in. And, you know, like this card here, there's no blood or anything coming out of it, so you could definitely use this to read with people who might be a little hesitant with tarot, because yeah, that's people like that are still out there. And the fact that everyone's eyes are closed means that at least there's consistency. Like, it doesn't mean specific things in the specific cards because they're all closed. It is Rider-Waite-esque, so easy to move those meanings over. That's really gorgeous. So I feel like this is really well thought out by Hannah. I could see reading with this a lot. I think it would work really well with the Zodiac Tarot. I think it would work well with a lot of decks. Oh, I love that. What a gorgeous deck, and what a really cool idea. Love, obviously. Love the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful. Yes. Love the cardstock too. Really like the cardstock. That linen feel, it just like, oh, it sounds so nice. And look at that. Oh, so this is the Star Maiden Tarot, and I'm actually really looking forward to reading some of the book too. We have upright and reverse for each one. Now we have the Way Seekers Tarot, and this is artwork done by NDR, written by Anna Dudrowski. I probably butchered that. And I have really been looking forward to seeing this one. So we have the guidebook and these little snippets here. Sometimes having like the smaller amount of information is, you know, it leaves a lot less room for interpretation. So it can actually help, you know, by not having a huge amount. But yeah, this is definitely a wee little book. So be aware of that one. I love the backs. The backs are really sweet. And let's go through the cards. So I really like already the backgrounds. I do love how the cards frame the figure in the middle. These look like, when you go to Europe, you know, they look like statues or carvings in walls or at the pillars at the front of like palaces or castles or museums and things like that. It reminds me a lot of that kind of thing, if that makes sense. I don't even know what they're called. The pretty carvings. So I really like how it reminds me of that. The pops of color are really well done. This kind of reminds me again as well of I just did one from Blue Angel, the feathers one, but I think this is executed better, this one here. Okay, so here we see that it is a bit more minimal. So this, is it a pip? It's pip-ish, it's pip-esque for sure. So page, knight, queen, king. So these definitely remind me of statues in Europe. But it is pip-esque, but it also has, oh, I love that. That's a question. That's really clever. Very clever. So I think it would benefit, I think, someone working with this deck to have an idea of the tarot before they work with it. But it's never a prerequisite for anything. I think it would definitely help. I think you for sure kind of getting a little bit of the meaning. Might be a nice bridge deck too, right? To bridge the I've worked with, decks that are all illustrated to a more pip deck. It is really cool though. I will definitely have to see how it shuffles. Oh, here we go. The full force of ancient Greco-Roman patriarchal mythology to his tarot rendering and combined it with bold perspective of modern graphic novels. Interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. I do really feel like it is very Europe, which makes sense because of the Greek Roman myths. It'll be really fun to see how this reads, but so far it's really beautiful. Now we move on to the Aronberg Tarot by Steve Aronberg, guidebook by Karen Badinsky, and I have actually seen quite a bit of this on social media, and I already really appreciate the perspective and point of view, so I'm really looking forward to working with it. So here we have the guidebook with keyword meanings, upright and reverse, and a little bit of information. So we, a lot of these is very, jumps right in, right? These little guidebooks, tarot spreads. So there's a little guidebook. I love this Harlequin back. And let's look through the deck. The artwork is so cool. It's kind of like a late 80s, 90s high fantasy novel cover. Like I'm thinking like David Eddings, Porn of Prophecy book covers kind of remind me of this. And I really like the borders, how they're incorporated into the art. And I'm not always a fan of that, but I think it works here. These are cards where you're zooming in, except for this one where you haven't, but where you're really zooming into aspects of the card. Love. These are so freaking cool. Oh my gosh. This reminds me of, oh my gosh, Outer Worlds. There's a game I was playing that they have posters and it kind of reminded me of this. I love those. So this is like zooming in, right? We're seeing close-ups of these cards and how that shifts the perspective. So it's kind of like a zoomed in portrait of the tarot deck itself, and that is really cool. So we have pages, knights, queens, and kings. That's really cool. What an interesting perspective. And a lot of thought would have had to been put into this to do this, right? To know like, okay, well, what am I going to focus on with, these cards so that I'm getting the energy, the vibration, the meaning over, but I'm also offering this like new perspective. I also really like how the suits are incorporated down the bottom of each one of the cards. It's very cool. And I think that this has definitely shown a very unique perspective. I haven't seen something like this before. There might be something out there before this came out that did this very zoomed in sort of situation, but I haven't seen it myself. So I really, really, really like this perspective, and I'm looking forward to working with it. And that is the Aronberg Tarot. Next up, we have the Caticorn Tarot by Pamela Chen and artwork by Ethony Dawn, and really gorgeous box. I've taken it out, but I just wanted to show you the box. We have the guidebook. So cute. This is the devil upright meowsage and reverse meowsage. That is really cute. And there's how to use the deck and some questions and some spreads. Really, really cute little book. Love these backs. I mean, I'm a sucker for a rainbow design. Love, love, love the backs, and they're reversible, which I really like. And so this is going to work with many cat decks, and there's a lot of them out there. Unicorn decks. This would work really well with Pamela's unicorn deck, Crystal Unicorn deck. So cute. And what I like about this is it has been created to be a tarot deck. You know, it's been done thoughtfully and from scratch to be a tarot deck. That is so cute. And I think, just from looking at the few images that I've seen here, this may be one of the better cat ones. I know there's one by Llewellyn which is really, really good, Magical Cats, I think. I don't have it though. This is really cute, really cute. This would be such a great deck for, I mean, anyone who's a cat lover, I think, is going to want this deck. But I also think people who are working with their inner child, people who just like play, beautiful. This kind of reminds me of, so there was a TV show back in the 80s called Lady Lovely Locks, and this gives me very Lady Lovely Locks, strawberry shortcake, nostalgia vibes. I don't know why, but it just does. I love that these wands are the cat toys. It is so cute, so well done. And I know I'm going pretty swiftly because I love the cartoony cuteness, but it's watercolor, and really, I just love the white space. I really, really like this deck. The dreaming, oh my gosh. It's so well done, so well thought of. What a lovely, gentle deck to work with. Like, I feel like this would do so well at fairs, or when you are reading for a younger audience, or marketplaces, or doing events. Like, this is, I mean, that's pretty intense, but the Ten of Swords always is. But this would be great because it's quite gentle, if that makes sense. Oh my gosh, I love that Ace of Pentacles. I think that they had all of these house plants. Stop. I have got to be honest, I was not expecting to like this deck as much as I do. I was not expecting to, guys. I was not, and I'm very pleasantly surprised, and I really want to read with it now. So beautiful little spring deck too, I think would be gorge. Okay, I'm in love. I'm in love with the Caticorn Tarot. You heard it here first, and I'm a dog person, guys. Love, love, love. So this one's going to be definitely staying in my collection for sure. Next up, we have the Black Seed Tarot by Teresa Hutch. And the other one she did was the Sun and Sky. Oof, I can't remember. But there is a second deck that she has done. I love that the box has got that little ridge to make it a little bit easier to open. Okay. And then we have the guidebook. And we have the Black Sea. Oh, here we go. White Sage was the other one. White Sage. Oh, that oracle was the oracle deck. Go, yeah. Okay, so that's the information you get on the cards. You also get a little chakra card, which shows you where the 7 main chakras are on the body. And a little bit more information on that side. Who doesn't love a little info, card? Love these backs. Gorgeous. I love that it's the flowers and everything. I still find it funny they keep putting their label on the back, but I guess it stops people. Well, no, it doesn't. People still steal shit and produce fakes. So it is a standard size deck and a standard for the cardstock. And as you can see, it is an animal deck. Oh my gosh, the Empress. So if you like the animal decks, really like that Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh. that death card too. Oh my gosh, I love Thorny Devils. I love those little, these guys are so cute, the little lizards. Oh my gosh. Love the animals that Teresa has chosen for the cards. And then we have homage to the back design. So cute. It's, what is interesting is like some of them, it's like the animals are doing animal things, and then some of them it's like now they're doing really people things. Does that make sense? Like I really do like it, but like some of it is like some animals are doing, yeah, it jumps a little bit from animals just being animals to animals doing something that looks like it's in the tarot. And then the families are all going to be a different animal, and these are all foxes. This is very cute. Koi. I'm going to start going. Interesting. Quite quickly now through it. Seals for cups. Hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds. Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the frame. And then hedgehogs. I think it's really, really cute. I would have to like read with it. My only critique is sometimes they're animals just being animals, and sometimes they're animals doing tarot things, and that would feel like really disjointed for me, but that's just me. But it is gorgeous. The artwork is really beautiful, and I know how much work it does take to create a deck, so I'm going to read with it. But I think like based on first impressions, that's my only, I guess, critique, but it is stunning. The Trinity Tarot by Ari Weisner is very different. It's square. Here we have keywords. We just have a pamphlet here of keywords. You could even laminate this and have it in a folder. I think that's a really good use for it. So a little bit of information. So, and then we have the little box. I really like the backs. Going to be interesting to shuffle this one, but as you can see here, it is line work and minimalist. So this is like a little, and we have changes: the nurturer, the defender, the revealer. So different, the proclaimer, the lovers. Okay, so some of it's the same, some of it's not. The hermit. I don't mind it being like the hanged one. I've done that before. But it's interesting that it's like you would keep the devil, but you would change the empress and the emperor. I find that really interesting because obviously usually those cards are the ones that are changed. I really like this design. I really like how the interesting choices with the change of some of the mages though. And then we have here, so the apprentice is the page, champion is the knight, keeper is the queen, crown is the king. I would get so confused with that. Except for that looks like clearly the knight. I would, the courts would confuse me in this, but as you can see, it's got some, it's minimalist, but it has still got some, oh, that's cool, of the traditional work. But I'm going through this super quickly. So more of the traditional elements of the Rider-Waite-Smith. This would kind of be one of those decks that I would do like a 2-second reading with, but I would have to think about it too much sometimes. I think like that I would get because of the sunflower and the cat, that it's the queen. So, but the knights would be very, yeah, it would be interesting. I would have to work with this for a bit, but I find it interesting that a few of the earlier mages were changed, but the others weren't. But it's a really cute idea and a sweet idea to have like a little, you know, on the go different deck to have on your reading space and to change it up. So that's the Trinity Tarot. Out of all of the Oracle decks, this is the one I've been really looking forward to opening. Wisdom of the Wild Things Oracle, work by Ava Beneva, love the name, and another Angie Sullins, love the box. Just this image alone with the snail. I love this type of artwork. So I took it out of the box again because it has the double wrapping, so I needed to get it out. We have another pouch and the guidebook. I don't actually want to look too much because I want the artwork to be a surprise. So getting into the deck and then we move into it. So very standard for this sort of deck from US Games. Look at this like gunmetal sides. It is so cool. Love the backs, this like fennec fox creature. Oh, so excited. Okay, I love weird cute things and this is definitely weird cute things, and I'm so here for it. It's kind of like Del Toro and the Big Eye artwork and Brian Froud and Tim Burton all had a baby. It's just so weird and wonderful. This is going to be so good to do shadow work with and healing with the inner child, working with like fears. I think so great. I have a feeling this deck is one of those decks where where this was artwork done over a period of time that was then turned into a deck. I don't believe it was created to be a deck, but I could be wrong. But I think this was that way. This is really cool. I love that. It's like an adventurer who's got a disguise kit. But still, I love the weirdness of it. It is really cool. I absolutely, oh my gosh, love that it is like this trippy space. I mean, like, look at it. It's so weird and wonderful. This kind of reminds me of that, the Lost Woods, or someone did that kind of looked a little bit like the Garofalo artwork. You know, it's like I've gotten lost in a fairy realm and I don't know anything. This reminds me very much of the Feywild in D&D as well. We just spent a long time there in my campaign. You know, it's kind of a bit like weird and wonderful and wacky. I love that. Gorgeous. So, oh my gosh. My dog, Apollo, we call his blanket his whoopee. And I kind of love that. Oh. So I don't care that this is one of those decks where it looks like the artwork has been selected to just be a deck. I want to just work with these strange and beautiful creatures, and oh my gosh, it's yes. It's all of the yes for me. I adore this. So yay, I'm so glad that it did not disappoint. It's cohesive enough with the art style as someone who has a collective works across the board, where it feels like a deck and it doesn't feel like it's forced. So I really, really like that. If you got this deck and you're working with it, let me know. But yay, I'm so glad I've got this one. Now we move on to the Wing, Hoof and Paw Animal Companion Oracle, and This is artwork by Stephanie Roberts and written by Angie Sullivans. And this is one of the beautiful new boxes and everything. We have like the pouch, all that kind of jazz. I took it out because it was double wrapped, and beautiful boxes with the ribbon. Even looking at the back of this deck, I knew this would be a really good deck to work with for children, because it has a beautiful kind of you know, innocent vibe and a very you know, children's book vibe about this, and I really appreciate that about this deck. We have the guidebook is full color like all of these new decks are, and it's very simple to get into, and then we jump into using the deck, then we go into, you know, a keyword and then information. So I like that it's also would be like, you know, easy for kids to kind of get into. Love this purple edging. Oh, it's my favorite color. And I love the back design. I think the back design is absolutely gorgeous. As I mentioned, I think this would be a really, really good deck to work with if you have children, because it's innocent, but it's, you know, really pretty. It's not going to have anything in here that's too confronting. It's colorful, but plus, you know, maybe you just really, really love bees. You love animals, and you want to work with animals, and you really love this artwork, and there's a lot to love about this artwork. I think this deck would work well with a lot of decks that have come out like recently, like the Caticorn deck, any other animal themed tarot or oracle deck. I actually think the Fairy Tale Animal would work really well with this as well. That's a beautiful swan. It's really, really cute. Oh, that whale is gorgeous. I love that it's like little portraits. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Animal Portals deck that our Jamie Sawyer did. He's so cute, little pigs. And I love that they've all got their little crowns. Oh my gosh, that squirrel. Oh. Sass. So this is really, really sweet. I like that dragon. Looks like a dog a little bit though. So 44 cards. This is super sweet. As I mentioned, I think it'd be really good for kids or those who are young at heart, and it definitely fans. Here we have the Crystal Blessing cards by Valencia Chang, and this is 70 cards. Box, and here we have a using the deck card that tells you how to use the deck, and then we have the backs, which I really like. I love a simple back or a geometric shape. This is the Flower of Life, I believe, geometric shape, and then we have the crystals. So everything, as you can see, is on the card. So there is the stone, or this is a resin in that case, is amber, keyword, information, and an affirmation, and a photo of the crystals. And there's 70 of them, so there is a lot. Again, I'm not going to show you all of them because otherwise we'll be here forever, but I'm sure you'll be able to use this by study. You could use it as a reference deck. You can obviously pick a card each day, or you know what crystal messages are being told to you. I would put these in like color order and have, so making it easy to help you identify stones. I love pink tourmaline, but a really could be a fun way to learn about different stones as well. But for anyone who's into crystals and wants to work with them in a card format or supplementary to the actual stones, then you have the keywords, affirmations, and information about why the stone was used and how the stone was used. So, and the fact that they've got all the information on this side means that this side you can actually use it as an oracle, because you don't know what's going to be on this side. I actually really appreciate that about this. It's not, got stuff on both sides. So I like that it can actually be used as a traditional oracle as well. So that's the crystal blessing cards. This is the angel connections cards. This is 40 ways to recognize the presence of angels. And I don't know who did this. Oh, Lynn and Wendy. Okay. And these cards have a back. They are the smaller affirmation cards. And here you've got numbers and a little message for some of them, and then other ones you have little affirmations. So I'm not going to go through all of them because this is going to be an extremely long video otherwise, because there are lots of decks. But as you can see, these are going to be really, really easy if you're looking to find a deck that speaks quickly, gives you very clear messages, and for those people who love the angels, this might be the perfect little pocket deck, these little decks. So we've got crystals, numbers, all sorts of stuff. So that's the angel connections, and there's no guidebook because all of the information is on the card, and I really like those card backs a lot. Out of all of the decks I showed you today from US Game Systems, let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite, and if you're working with any of them that I showed you. As always, where you can find the decks are in the description box below, and I'll see you next time.